Happy New Year to everybody of you, and I'm very happy today to share with you my recipe for the Italian mushroom porcini risotto. So nothing that deals with surgical technique, no any evidence of laser equipment, but just the kitchen, the fireplace, and all the ingredients to have a very nice Italian mushroom porcini risotto. So, first of all, let's gonna talk about all the different ingredients we will use for this recipe. So, once really important is to prepare at least 90 minutes before from dried porcini mushroom, the mushroom that you called white mushroom, that must be dried. It's you can find them also iced, but the dried ones are much more better. Allows you to put them into a bowl with warm water, so you have them prepared for our risotto, and you also have a water that will be useful, very useful for our stew that is already on the fireplace boiling. So then, at the very start, we will use shallot. You have, it's half shallot that is cutted and then minced, and is much more better than onion that can be used for the stir fried at the very start of our recipe, but this one gives a more sweet savor to our risotto. Then very important is the cheese, is Parmigiano Reggiano cheese that is already cut, fresh parsley, and very important, the rice. You cannot use any kind of rice, you have to use Carnaroli rice. It's the one that allows you to have a very cook, to have a round cook of the entire piece, and so gives you also to your risotto a very nice savor, because it's able to keep all the savor from the mushroom and from the stew. Then oil, that is useful at the very start of our recipe, and you will see that, and also white wine. Usually, to do that, you can use any kind of white wine. It's preferable to have a dry one instead of a sparkling one. The very mid, in between, we can use a prosecco. It's a medium between the dry one and a sparkling one, but any kind of white wine is good. I prefer a prosecco just because it gives you a richer taste of my risotto that is very, 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 very tasty. Okay, let's go start. So, in our pot, I already put 20 grams of butter, and I'm adding 2 spoons of oil. We wait for the boiling situation of butter and oil, and I'm adding the shallot. In the meantime, what I'm doing, I'm taking the mushroom with their own water, and I'm putting them into the stew that I've already prepared. So I will have now mushroom. Okay, so we have oil inside, we have shallot that I've already inserted, and everything is well chipping inside the pot. In the other pot, I've placed the stew, the water from the porcini and the porcini too. I keep a very high fire in this pot and a very low one in the other one, because the stew is already warm and I'm just waiting for the shallot to become a little bit gold. So we will wait for some minutes to have all the things ready, and now we can pass to the carnaroli to be inserted in our pot. So once the shallot, as you can see, take a color that is less white and more gold, we will insert the carnaroli rice. Now we have to toast the rice. So toasting the rice obliges you to have a lot of turning movement, so any kind of the shallot, of the oil and of the butter get in contact with any piece of the carnaroli rice. And we have just to wait 3 to 4 minutes to have a round toasting of any piece of the rice, avoiding that from white it passes to a color that is yellow or brown. So we keep on with a very high fire, turning, and we just wait for 3 to 4 minutes to have a complete toasting situation of our rice. Once 4 minutes have passed, so our rice is completely toasted, we can start add our white wine. So I get a glass and around half a glass would be fine. So white wine, you will smell a very intense taste that is starting from the pot. And now it's time to add the mushroom and the stew. And we will start with 5 of those. 3, 4, and 5. From this moment now, we have to count in between 16 to 18 minutes of cooking. During this cooking period, we will add the stew once our risotto is going to dry, and just to follow a correct cooking of all the rice. So it takes you to stay on the fireplace for all the time to see how the risotto is going. So we know that in 18 minutes, don't be afraid to overcook this kind of rice. Carnaroli is really able to keep cooked without being overcooked. The only problem is that if you add too much water, this is why you have to add the water with consciousness and to pay attention on that. And once you are in this situation, you can lower down a little bit your fire and you just turn a little bit. Now the aim is to put all the mushroom inside the rice. So we'll just keep them as dry as we can from the stew, and we add them into our risotto. Very nice. Very nice. So our aim is to follow the cooking of our risotto, looking at once it's drying too fast, we just lower down a little bit the fire, take a look at our clock just to see when we are in between 16 minutes to 18 minutes of cooking, the risotto will be ready. So the aim is to have a dried situation once we are approaching that time. Still turning around, we have a very nice situation in which the risotto is cooking while the mushrooms are cooking with the risotto. Now we just need to wait for this procedure to take a look at the risotto, refill with a little bit of stew the risotto that is cooking and so drying a little bit, and we'll come back in 18 minutes, just past the 18 minutes. So at this time, so we just turn off the two fire, and now we can add the cheese, is Parmigiano Reggiano, 50 to 80 grams, and we just insert into for the last time of cooking of the rice, because the pot is still very hot, so we have the last 2 minutes of the rice. We just need to wait for 2 minutes. In these 2 minutes, what I can tell you is which wine I'm gonna drink with this mushroom porcini risotto. My choice is not for a blend wine. My choice is for 100% of one grape. The grape is a grape for Piedimonte, is the Nebbiolo grape. You can have it with a Nebbiolo d'Alba. The year is 2016, is a very good year, and is quite a very good Nebbiolo that can be tasted with the round savoir of the risotto. Another way in which you can have your Nebbiolo is Gattinara. Gattinara is a city and also the name of this red wine taken for 100% of Nebbiolo grape. He has a more intense taste from the Nebbiolo, so I recommend, if you are starting for the first time having a Nebbiolo, go for it. If you already know a Nebbiolo, you will be astonished by the Gattinara one. So let's gonna see what is going on in the pot. Beautiful, so we have removed a little bit of water, and our risotto is absolutely ready, and we can pass it into our dish. The pot, our dish, we can remove the wine. For a single person, 3 of those should be enough, but it also depends on how hungry you are, considering your day of work and how cold it is outside. A little bit of this. And our porcini mushroom risotto is ready. I'm really happy to say to all of you, Happy Christmas, Happy New Year, and this is my gift for you. Have a nice, relaxing year, and we hope for any one of you to have a very relaxing time in which anything will come to normality. Have a nice night. Bye.